fucked up. You fucked up.
Now it's capturing the right thing. I didn't fuck up. The computer did.
You're ruining my show.
It's not your show. It's
my show.
It's the people's show.
And that show is called Closing Shift. Welcome in to episode 14?
I believe so. I believe I edited the extra long episode 13.
I am Mia. That is Emmy. And just because I mentioned it right off the bat, Kevin Kemped, my show. See, Kevin's been popping off.
No.
So if you don't know the context of like anything right now happening between Drake and Kendrick, after Kendrick dropped Not Like Us, Metro dropped a free beat called BBL Drizzy and was just like, hey, whoever can make the best rap over this is going to get a free beat. And so Kevin made one over BBL Drizzy, and it's been doing really, really good. It's been really popping off, and I'm just like, damn, that's cool.
BBL went rampant in my mind for the last 30 seconds. I was thinking like, big burrito lunch. I was just thinking of everything it could stand for.
Do you know what it stands for?
Yeah, of course I do. What are you, stupid? Jeez, I'm not going to tell you, though, because you obviously know, too. Jeez, what do you think I am, a ding-dong?
Of course I know that it's a butt lift. Why would I want to tell you, though?
It's a big butt lift. It's just a huge lift of the buttocks.
Big booty lickers. That seems like one of those things you see on a t-shirt, like federal booby inspector.
Yeah.
Is there one for the CIA?
I was going to say, is there one for the NYPD? Like the new Yussy pussy department.
I want to love you, NYPD.
Yeah, but welcome back to Closing Shift again. I'll say we were just before the show. I was like, oh, I'm almost done with my book, Front Desk by Kelly Yang, the most fantastical young adult book of our generation. I actually did say that.
Yes.
And then Mia was like, you want to talk about it on the show? So I'll talk about it on the show a little bit. This is
I never
this
said
is indeed
that.
a book.
She's using this as an excuse to talk about her interests.
That's not true. You did say
Never
that.
said
I'm
that.
actually not lying now. I'm actually not lying now. Now it's the truth for real, and you're lying to me and about me on the internet. Stop it.
You're telling untruths about my character. Continue.
So anyway, for one thing, I got this book in a collection of 3 books in like September or like August or something. I made this like young adult mission of mine that I was going to start reading more, because the way I learned to like get into books was that I was forced to by adults from when I was a kid till I graduated high school. I never ever wanted to read a book by myself, and I don't know if I ever actually completed a book before this one, but I'm not complete with this one. It's almost complete, and it's sad because it's the first one in this mission. And I'm really glad I just like randomly picked this book. It's called Front Desk by Kelly Yang. There's 5 of them. It's a quintilogy, if you will. Quintilogy. Kelly Yang writes really well. It's a story about I would believe it's based on a true story of Kelly Yang's life, probably. But it's about this family in the 90s who's Chinese coming to America and struggling because America hates everybody. And it's a really interesting story. They run a motel, and there's a lot of interesting characters, and they go through a lot of different racial struggles, but it's really good. So I'd recommend it if you're interested in just like a good story that is wholesome, that will take you on a ride. It'll take you on a ride with your emotions. But I have a few other books too.
Is it a fiction or is it autobiographical? Or not, or just biographical, I guess, to want to be honest.
It's fiction because these characters aren't real, but it just seems like they are based on real characters, but it's definitely
has
not
groundings in reality, but it's not telling the direct story of an actual person. It's more it pushes the idea of what they want to say.
That's what I mean, grounded in reality.
Yeah.
But I got the sequel for Christmas, and I'm excited about that. But I have a couple other books I want to read too. I have a book called The Last Bear that I want to read, which is about a girl and her polar bear.
Rawr.
And then The Girl from the Sea, which is a book about ocean lesbians, and it's pretty cool.
Nice.
And I'm excited to read that. It's actually a graphic novel, so it's got pictures, thankfully.
I like all the funny pictures.
But reading is a huge thing that I enjoy nowadays because I don't have to look at a screen, and screens give me headaches.
Yeah.
I scream, you all scream, we all scream. What? For screens, because they give you headaches, and those headaches make you scream. And my voice is a little raspy, so I apologize. I'm trying to speak up the best I can.
I tried getting into books, but they were too small.
So, closing shift audience, what do you want to talk about?
What do you want to talk about? I'm sick. That's what.
Are you still sick?
Yep. It's about as sick as I was on Sunday when I was like, I can't fucking do this today. I'm still in that sort of region of things. It's the worst kind of sick, which is actually there is worse kind of sick, but it's one of the more annoying types of being sick, where it's like I'm not runny, I'm not coughing, I'm not doing all that stuff. Like my throat is like a little bit like not as good as it would be. And I noticed that like on the day before I got sick while trying to do voices while playing Hollow Knight, I couldn't do some of the voices and I was like, damn, why is my throat hurting when I do this? Because that's like always the warning shot is when I try to do a voice and before I'm sick and it feels wrong, I'm like, oh no, here it comes. And then the next morning I woke up at 4 a.m. And felt god awful. And it's really annoying because it's like there's not a lot of outward symptoms of it. It's just that I am like my stomach's upset constantly and I just have a never-ending headache and I'm just exhausted and everything hurts. It's one of those.
I am not rotting coffee, nor am I running coughing.
That's gonna be
was the first thing I thought of.
I need to take that for one of my alternate usernames like I like to do.
You just need to make a avatar that's like sick and sniffly. Yeah, there you go.
You first.
Have spent my words, you spent yours.
An exchange of word currency.
No, but you go ahead.
I have spent the past several days absolutely miserable from this because I've just been bored. It's like that's one of the reasons why it's so terrible is because I'm too tired to do anything, so I'm just bored. Because if I don't do anything, then it's horrible. I get like I wind down at the end of the day. It's just like, oh boy, that was a nice fucking nothing that I did all day, and I hate it.
Yeah, doing nothing sucks.
I've mostly just been binging back through trying to finish Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, which I only have like another 2.5 hours of to see, which is of course the very finale of it. Which, unfortunately, I already know what's going to happen. It's one of the most famous spoilers in all of video game history. But it's still, like, I never expected, when getting into Final Fantasy VII, because I played the original briefly, and was like, this is so not for me. I never expected to be so into these characters and to be so into this story. But I find myself at the end of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and they're going through all these, like, really tough character moments, and I'm just like, oh my god! It's been a great game. Padded to hell and back, but it's great.
That is fantastic news. I mean, there's a lot of, I'm almost at the end of my book. There's a lot of high tension character moments happening right now, and I am uncertain of how it's gonna end and how it's gonna cliffhang for the sequel, because I don't plan on reading the sequel next. I'm like worried that it's gonna make me want to. The only reason being because I wanted to get the other books I bought first out of the way, and I needed to make sure I gave them my time. And I've been doing a good job of balancing that, the media I consume, in which order I consume it. I haven't been as much into consuming internet content recently as far as YouTube and things go, because I've just been consuming so much real world media somewhat outside of your cloud or whatever.
Yeah. Your orb of diabolical influence.
Outside of your eye spheres. Yeah, I mean, in my effort as well to aesthetic my room, nice car, in my efforts to renovate my room more aesthetically and girly, one thing I've gotten that I mentioned was my new Hello Kitty clock that you cannot see, but you get an idea of it. It's a clock with Hello Kitty.
Fuck yeah.
It's super adorable. I was shopping and the store I was at had 2 of them. They were $13. Why would I not get one? It would have been psychotic for me not to get one. And I also was able, or no, I'm sorry. I meant that I have been working on.
Sorry, I was Kane.
I've been trying to make my stuff more organized, but keep it in a way that's like satisfying. So, I mean, for one thing, I'm gonna like mount my TV to the wall, trying to eliminate any useless furniture. And right now, the thing my TV's on is not something I need. So get rid of that. Get like a floating shelf for the two things I use, which is a DVD player and a Nintendo Switch. I guess the Roku, but the Roku I'm just gonna stick to the TV probably. But organizing my books and my DVDs and my games in a cool way. I also have a bunch of physical games, including R2 infamous Big Wap Big games that were terrible. That I'm gonna make a game wall of my physical games, and it's gonna be pretty cool. I'm excited about that.
Speaking of games, just this morning we got Nintendo Switch news. I don't know if you saw
it. Games? Did we get games?
We did not get games. We got even better news, which is that
that's impressive. Considering it's a game console.
Nintendo put out the official statement that in June we are going to get, so that's a month from now is June. We are going to get an official statement and information on the successor to the Nintendo Switch. Future me here to clarify, Nintendo did not say that there is going to be console announcement in the June Direct. They in fact said that it's not going to happen in the June Direct. There was a conflation of information about a release and about a Direct happening, and I fucked up.
What?
Yeah, we're finally getting console news after 9 years.
Well, I can't do this.
No,
you can't do this to me. This is the worst time. You're gonna make me cry and shit.
I'm gonna be thinking about it all summer.
I wasn't ready for this news. Take it back.
Just lie. Tell me it's an Xbox or something.
Tell me you meant to say Sony.
Tell me you meant to say Sony without saying Sony.
Tell me you play PlayStation without telling me you play PlayStation.
Oh, that's other big gaming news with Sony. I don't know if you know anything about the Helldivers.
Not Sony too. They're coming for everyone. What's big Sony news? What did they do?
So Helldivers 2 had big controversy over the past week that was thankfully resolved within said week. So when you launch Helldivers 2 for the first time, it always asks you, like, hey, do you want to link your PSN account? And it's always been something that you can skip. It's always been something that's been optional. However, Sony wanted to make the change to make that not optional. And the devs of the game, they knew that this was going to be an issue down the line. The reason why it wasn't mandatory from the very beginning was because they had to make compromises when there was all the server crisis happening when the game launched, that they were like, if we have everybody linking their PSN right now, it's just not going to work if we want to get people actually playing the game. So that got pushed back by several months up until now, where finally the dam broke and the news released that it was going to be mandatory. You'd have to link your account with PSN. The problem with this, the reason why it's an issue, is because PSN is not available in every country. There's over 100 countries, in fact, where you can't make a PlayStation account. And this is also the same countries that people have already bought the game in and are playing in. So it was a massive, massive rage for several days. People have been calling it the first IRL major order, because the community got together and review bombed the fuck out of Helldivers 2 until Sony listened that they don't want PSN linking. And Sony, the other day, just yesterday, actually I guess it was 2 days ago, they repealed their decision to require PSN. They actually listened to the players because, I mean, it went from almost 100% positive reviews to overnight, almost 100% negative reviews. Everybody was organized on this to a scary degree. But we won. Yeah. Everybody who fought on that front for the liberty of fellow divers has in fact succeeded. And in a really funny turn, people realized that on the Steam chart showing the reviews rating over time, showing the ratings drop and then rise suddenly, they were like, hey, that looks like one of the capes that you'd see in Helldivers. So now that's going to be a commemorative cape in-game of the review bombing. And people are saying it's going to be called something like Unity or something like that, of how everybody worked together.
That's funny.
It's really great.
That's why you don't fuck with your fan base.
Especially one that's so organized. That is the entirety of Helldivers is completely predicated on working together and being organized and cooperating. It's like, you think that in a community based on that, when you exclude over 100 countries from playing, that they're not gonna raise hell.
What do you think you're gonna get?
Fuck Sony, they just can't stop causing controversy.
The devs just like pulled Sony into a chair and like showed them Steam reviews, be like, what do you call that? What does this look like to you?
Yeah, reason why that had to be done though too is because like it was actually one of the community managers of the game in the Discord was just like, there's literally nothing that we can do about it. If you want Sony to like, if you want to change your review to negative, then you are free to do so, because there's nothing else that we can do about it right now. There's no other way to get in contact with Sony. So it was like that set in motion. That was just like, but we can change our reviews and like because Sony doesn't read the Discord. Sony isn't in the Helldivers subreddits and spaces. That was the only way of communicating, was firing a fucking shot.
Or going to Sony headquarters and yelling at them to their face. Bringing the issue to them.
Writing them a strongly worded email.
Fighting them on their grounds. I didn't hear about any of this, so I'm just interpreting it all. But I'm glad that it worked out for the gamers.
I mean, there's been a lot of stuff recently that if you don't keep up with it, then like it's blinking, you'll miss it. Because everything that just happened, like the actual height of everything that's happening with Drake and Kendrick Lamar, while that's been like a multi-month thing, or for some a multi-year thing, like the actual like everything that's actually important with it just happened in the past like few days to week.
No, that's what I've been saying. I've just been kind of blissfully living in my book and in my room, on my Animal Crossing island. I'm living the most blissfully ignorant life to except for like really important stuff. I'm keeping up with world issues. I'm just not keeping up with like what Kendrick Lamar thinks of Drake's penis or anything like that.
Well, you're like you're like J. Cole skipping through fields of rainbows and daisies.
Yeah, I'm like J. Cole. I'm gonna sit this one out actually.
Yeah.
I did hear about J. Cole being part of it at first and then pulling out.
It was a good move. Yeah, it's on theme with what I was talking about like last week or 2 weeks ago. I think it was last week. My thing about two dumb dogs.
Yeah. No, that was last week because I edited that and laughed about it again when I was editing it. I actually saved that audio clip, I think, too, because I was gonna turn it into a clip. I wonder what like this summer. Well, for one thing, what do you think Nintendo's new console is gonna be like? Do you think it's gonna be like the Switch 2 or like?
I think it has to be
the next home console, or like I just feel like they got the formula so right with Switch. Why would they stray away from it?
There is like it's the same way that they had the formula so correct with the Game Boy and the Nintendo DS that it's like keep the price down and make it like make it the right size that you can still use it as an adult but it fits in a baby hand and you can bring it everywhere. So if you have like if you got like a bored ass first grader that's like you just need to occupy, just slap it in their hands and it's perfect. I think that's why the Switch did so well, that it's just like, oh, this is like Leapfrog 2.
Yes, it's just like a Leapfrog tablet, or like those giant kid-proof iPad cases that are huge.
God, every time that I see an iPad baby in public at any restaurant, I was at a restaurant recently for a family member's birthday, and it was like a completely packed restaurant. It was just like a real nightmare. Our server, our waiter that night was like fucking on top of it, like grade A fucking waiter. Insane, like super helpful when it was just like a nightmare situation in that restaurant. But the table next to us, it was like these two, I would assume two couples that were like having dinner out, but one of them had an iPad baby, and the ones that had an iPad baby, they were the ones that were drinking. Just pointing it out.
Y'all should be different.
Just if you're gonna have a fucking margarita at Texas Roadhouse.
Got an iPad, baby? Would you train them instead of diapers, use iPads?
Yeah.
Just showed them a YouTube tutorial on how to pee in the toilet.
Maybe.
You gotta commemorate the lack of intelligence in an iPad parent. Because it's the same, it's an iPad family. Like, it's a whole brand. You can't just be like, it's just an iPad baby. The baby didn't put the iPad in its own hands.
I don't know how much there is, though, to like, you know, being like, I think every generation has had their equivalent of an iPad parent that, because when I was growing up, I was a Game Boy kid. I was Game Boy baby. And then subsequently,
Game Boy baby.
iPad baby, when the iPad came around.
I was like, I don't know. I didn't really have like a thing. I was kind of like, my parents were the iPad baby and I was the iPad. Like they just told me what to do and then I did it.
Just tapping and swiping.
Yeah, basically.
I mean, it's probably better than like there's every generation has needed some way to keep their kids occupied, and an iPad, while very dangerous for the things your child might be exposed to, it might be better, possibly, than your child being occupied by eating lead paint chips. And that's something you really don't want them exposed to. That is something like people from like our parents' generations talk about. is like talking about like eating fucking paint chips because lead is sweet, and so they just like eat fucking like straight paint chips that would fall off of walls.
Yeah, I love the taste of paint.
These are the people that are like these Tide Pod fucking things. Like, you ate paint.
Yeah. And you're going to criticize me for eating laundry detergent.
It's like, ours was a joke. You actually did that.
And both were just as terrible.
You know, they're both cleaning related. One turns your brain into a sponge and the other is a detergent.
Yeah, it's just...
And together, with the power of lead paint and Tide Pods, we will cleanse humanity.
Humans are just something else.
I think we need a rinse cycle real quick.
Yeah, I think we need a reset.
Just put the entire earth in a washing machine. Just...
Someone needs to dig through the catacombs of the planet and find the power button and hit restart on it.
We go down to the center of the earth and it's just one of those really tiny reset buttons you gotta hit with a paperclip.
Yeah. Make sure we stock our most heat deterrent paperclips because it will melt through the molten core.
Reminds me of one time, it was like a nature thing, and like there was like some local park, whatever, like some national park that was like nearby, and it was some thing with I guess it would have been Cub Scouts or whatever, perhaps, or maybe it was an unrelated thing. I don't know.
Perhaps it was Cub Scouts.
I don't know why I was there. It was just a thing where we walked around in nature and we learned about nature, and there was like a place that like an information center was like, hey, this is a bird and a plaque. But
this is a woman.
There was a guy like talking about all that who was like being informational, and he asked out into the crowd. He was like, "Does anybody know what the hardest rock is?" And I was like, "Obsidian," because fucking Minecraft. He's like, "No," and I was like, "Damn, that had to be right.
Everything I know is a lie.
It's all lies."
Obsidian, no.
No.
Where is this kid's parents? Please take your child and remove them from my presence.
At least this kid knows what a rock is, although it's not really
a Minecraft baby.
It's not really. Yeah, I was a Minecraft baby. That is true. I begged for Minecraft for years. Let me make this like a very clear thing. Is that when growing up, we had like one family computer, and it was like an old Windows XP computer, and for that computer was so shit, and we still have it, and my parents still use it from time to time. It's such a shit computer that's just like loaded to the tits with fucking malware and other shit. And like, of course, it hasn't been updated in a century because it's on Windows XP. And so one time I was like, can I get the free demo for Minecraft? And then we did that. And then, of course, because the computer was shit, it started like, you know, crapping out trying to play the demo of Minecraft. It like opened up a couple windows and stuff like that. And my parents were like, no, it was a fucking virus. It's like, it's, you know, and it wasn't. It was just a demo of Minecraft, but it was just, so that like set off for like a couple years where my parents were convinced that Minecraft was going to be something that was just going to like break the computer. And I just couldn't get, like, I watched so many Minecraft YouTubers. I watched like Yogscast and shit like that and Ethos Lab, and I'd be like, damn, I want to play Minecraft. And I begged for like actual years to be able to play Minecraft. While like friends had it, I'd get to play it occasionally at a friend's house. I still couldn't play it at home up until I think it was like 2013, maybe like going into 2014. I want to say it was 2013 that I finally got a laptop for schooling that then like that was like our Christmas was like me and all my siblings. We got we had to get like because we did a lot of online schooling, so we all had like laptops for that, and we got Minecraft with it. So that was like one of the best Christmases. It was like, oh my god, my own computer that I can do things with, and also Minecraft. These are all the things that I've ever wanted.
Finally.
And then like the day later, we were installing mods.
Yeah, I was never into the modding scene at first. I mean, I had some mods. I had like the classic ones, but I don't remember them, and I didn't use them that much. I was a big like multiplayer server kind of player. I didn't start playing Minecraft really for what it was until I was like 13. And even then I didn't really like, I never played like survival all the way through or beat it or anything, but it was there. It certainly was there. And I certainly played it. Played mostly like the survival games mode.
Yeah, fair enough.
It was like Fortnite before Fortnite existed, but in Minecraft and without guns.
Me and my siblings would, after we all got Minecraft on our own laptops, we would do like Minecraft LAN parties basically, where sometimes we'd have friends over that had their own laptops and Minecraft. But other times we just gather around like the kitchen table with our laptops and we just like play on Hypixel or just like make a world or whatever. And it was a great time. Those were really nice times. And there was like, I still have it as like my Microsoft profile picture to this day. Is one time we had a LAN party with my uncle. He like set up a Minecraft server, and so we all just like helped him set that up and like played on that for like a day, and we built some stuff there. And I built like this statue of my Minecraft skin at the time, and that's still like the screenshot of that is still my Microsoft account picture, and you can still see it in the most recent Big Wow Big trailer. You can see it like a little bit, that icon still there after like 10 years.
All you Easter egg hunters, go look for that in the trailer.
Yeah, I think that's also like the last time I showed my face in anything. It happens rarely. I feel like I'm okay with like showing my face in things when it's a thing that is not like, it depends on like what sect of virtual persona or whatever I'm in. If I'm doing stuff for like, if I was doing stuff for Big Wow Big, I was like, yeah, I'm a human being. I'm here for this. Doing stuff here on Closing Shift, I'm like, yeah, I'm a human being for this. And then if it's like for streaming stuff, it's like, no, that's a whole other persona.
Yeah, Mia, a person. Rotting coffee, nah. Let me tell you like this, because Rotting Coffee, everyone knows this is Rotting Coffee's game with everybody saying L.A. Night. Yeah. Sorry, I bumped the mic. Also, I'm waiting on my sister to drop off my dumb dog.
Dumb dog.
So that's going to make some noise for a little bit.
Not two dumb dogs?
But we'll just cut. No, sorry. Yeah, just one dumb dog, not two.
Just one.
Only own one dumb dog. Man, that's... all you listeners better make that like a classic in terms of the numbers. Like, y'all better make that a classic episode. Yeah. That is so funny. Yeah, we're on week 14. We're almost like 4 months into this.
Yeah, every episode is a week, and we've been on it.
We're just over our first trimester. But yeah, it's exciting to have creative projects to do. I really need to get back on the horse and the saddle with my my stuff. I got a lot of stuff to do, but I've just been taking my time and making my rhymes, eating my limes.
Bars.
Bars.
What do you think? Who do you think wins? Pirates versus ninjas?
Pirates versus ninjas, just in general?
Classic question.
Probably, I don't know.
I am 90% sure I've asked this question on the podcast before, but I'm asking it again.
I am 10% sure you haven't, but that's where we differ. I would assume probably pirates. They're more aggressive, but ninjas are more stealthy. I could see you going either way for different reasons.
Honestly, I'm undecided on the pirate versus ninja issue. I have to wait for the debates.
Can you give me until like August to figure this out? Make it through the summer, and then I can really think about the important stuff. Okay.
I need to like talk to a few pirates and like really formulate an opinion.
I don't know. I've never had a good conversation with a ninja, so I just like need to get that experience first.
Yeah, I mean, I can talk to a pirate and they're like, "Arr, I slit them with me cutlet." You know, and I can try to talk to a ninja, but they'd be like, "The fuck you say to me, you little shit?" Now that would be the true question. Who would win? Pirates versus Ninja the streamer.
Pirates versus Tyler Ninja Blevins. That one seems a little easier to answer. It would obviously be Ninja.
What streamer do you think Ninja could actually take in a fight? Like, we're talking like maximum. We're not talking about like, oh, this like actual child streamer. Like, what is like the absolute like maximum like height of streamers that Ninja could take in a fight?
My answer can't be Ryan's toy reviews. That's interesting. That's tough too, because I don't watch a lot of streamers. I guess. I mean, what
brain search index for pathetic streamers
could beat or just take in a fight?
We're talking about like either MMA in a ring or like street fight. Either which way you want to take it. Who could Ninja beat?
Probably, I would say either Dr. Lupo or I don't know. I would say Jinxie, but Jinxie's like a psychopath, so I don't know. As far as I know, I've only seen a few clips of Jinxie. He is a Siege player though, so that says a lot about his ability and willingness to fight people. Probably.
Those cortisol levels they're high.
He's cortisol through the roof.
You can tell by the 13-degree wrinkle in his brow.
If you take a look here. Who could Ninja take? I don't know. I see Ninja as the most pathetic being on the planet. Do I really have to answer this? Like, I don't know. I don't think about it. Because, I mean, do I really think Ninja's like the weakest person on the planet that's famous? No. But you asked about streamers, and I don't know that many streamers. And most streamers I do know are taller and or tougher than Ninja, so I have no idea.
Fuck, man, I don't know. I think the biggest thing he's taken is that sandwich his braless wife brought him.
If I had to say one, I could probably say Golden Potato Bowl, if I really had to. Ninja could maybe beat up Curtis. I don't know, but Curtis is pretty strong, and he can dance and backflip and stuff, so I don't know.
Oh, that would be hilarious if we did a tier list of our friends of who could take who.
That would be interesting, like the best mashup or matchups. But you know what I just thought of also? Doesn't Curtis kind of seem like our Ethan because he can do backflips and he's hilarious and random? That they kind of have like a similar vibe, right? Now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
Like Crank Gameplays Ethan, I mean.
We should make like a bracket style fighting thing. And the way that we influence this bracket is that we ask our friends who they think they could take in a fight, and we compare the like, well, this many people said they could take this friend.
17 people said they could take on Kosharu. Yeah, that's interesting. Because I've heard a lot of streamers that I was watching when I was like in the Warzone space, which I mean, technically I'm still in, because I still watch some of them. But a lot of them were like hit me up at next creator clash. Like, I'll fight you. Yeah, I'll fight you. Whatever. But I don't assume the toughness of people first. I don't know. It's hard for me to imagine. If you were like, who do you think so-and-so would fight if it was a streamer? I'd be like, I don't know, it depends on, well, especially for somebody like Ninja. I don't watch Ninja. I never watched Ninja.
There's got to be a lot of streamers who like tried to sign up for Creator Clash and they were like, yeah, I could box. I could take somebody else in a boxing match. And then they saw how many months you'd have to train for and they were like, nah.
Yeah. Who do you think Aaron should go up against next? If he boxes again?
My mom.
You think Aaron could take your mom?
No.
It's a tall order for him. I think Aaron should box Ocarina of Time.
Ocarina of Time in box.
Yeah. I was going to say, like, I think he would firmly put that cartridge in its place. In the box.
And then he'd take it out of its place and blow on all the pin connectors and back into its place.
And then play it.
That was a funny TikTok I saw the other day. It was like, it was implying strongly, it was like N64 cartridge when it doesn't work. And it's like really, like they never outright say the joke, which I really commended for. I don't know who did this, and I probably can't find it because it's TikTok. Future me here. I did in fact find it. This TikTok is by ichris.topher. It's just really funny that it's just like, well, you already tried plugging it in 3 times. Just like, you're gonna have to.
Looks like you're gonna have to blow it.
Yeah, just like always dancing around that, letting you come to the conclusion was really funny.
That is
really
funny.
well done.
I like those unique videos you find that have just like the perfect sense of humor you needed in that moment.
It's great when there's a different restructuring, because that's like a classic joke of just like blowing on the cartridge and like having whatever innuendos with it. But when you can restructure an old joke in like a different format where it's like not immediately just like, your fucking nerdly type or whatever, dorkly, that's what it's called, those comics where it's just like, let me draw this horny looking N64 cartridge and that's the joke. I like a little bit more nuance with a run out joke.
Let me draw this N64 cartridge and it's gonna look like it wants to blowed.
Blowed. That is in fact what a lot of people call blue toad.
I would just be like, hey girl, do you want to take my blowed? Just combine it with load. I don't know where the B part would come from.
Foreshortening of blowing a load.
Yeah.
Blowed.
It's like the whole action just in one word.
Yo, greatest of all time, he's bloated.
John Cena? I really don't know where that goat bit came from. They were like calling him the goat when he came back, but that was never like a thing of his when he was there before. They just like gave him the new title of the goat.
The greatest of all time.
I know what goat means. I'm just saying I don't know where it came from.
Sure.
But I don't know why they call him a goat. He doesn't have horns or like hooves or anything. It's so weird.
I mean, he just shows up in the middle of the ring and he's like, meh.
While he's eating grass and his eyes look different ways. Bah, Cena. He could whoop ass though when he rams somebody into the turnbuckle.
Thugonomics.
Yeah, the goatonomics. I was saying this before we started, but I'm really enjoying CM Punk's current era, which is the sleeveless era, which has just for some reason become a bit. I also like his opening line. He says now he's got like the new catchphrase when he shows up that's like, man, is it good to be alive in name of city or what on a Monday night? And this like, it's like a completely sleeveless shirt, not just like a tank top that's like designed to be one. It looks like he cut the sleeves off. It's like a muscle shirt, I guess, but I enjoy it because I love CM Punk.
I wonder if it's one of those bits like Gold Dust was asked in an interview. It's like, why did you have a different color every few years? And he's just like, make more toys. Same thing with John Cena. It's just like, why do you always wear different colored t-shirts every season? He's like, make more toys.
Yeah, toys are a huge selling point for WWE. I had one of those. I think I had one of those play rings when I was growing up. It was like one that you could like break in half if you slammed the wrestlers on it enough. I do remember though, if you don't know, I don't know if I've mentioned this specifically on the podcast, but I went to WrestleMania 27 in Atlanta, Georgia, in the Georgia Dome when it was called that. It's not called that anymore.
Who up trying to get some Georgia Dome?
It was... Never heard that one before. But it was a good WrestleMania. It was unfortunate how not good it was, but it was fun. And the most fun part was that Steve Austin showed up. And he didn't even have a match, but it was fun. And it was also when The Rock came back from his first long hiatus. That was like his big return. It's like one of his biggest returns of all time because he came out of... They like hyped up this big host for WrestleMania 27. And it was The Rock. And I remember watching on Raw live when they announced it was him. And it was the hypest thing on the internet at the time. And that was before the summer of Punk happened in 2011. And then 2011 was a good year for WWE. And then Vince McMahon took that 2011 shit on it and wiped his ass with 2012 and just ruined everything. Triple H as well back then. But that was back before we had the Paul Levesque era. Blah.
Paul Levesque, Triple H.
Paul Triple H Levesque.
It's a bad time right now to be Dwayne Johnson. There's been more news about him coming out recently.
Oh, why don't you talk about it and I'll listen while I tinkle in the toilet.
So, of course, there was a big controversy when he came back to WWE quite a few months ago. That caused a big stir because he came in and was just like, I'm here now and it's all about me. It's the me show. And people were like rightly upset about that. And so he took like a step back from that sort of position, but he's still kind of, trying to work his way into that scene. I don't know how well that is going to work for him with like, he has a declining public image at this moment because of a few recent articles and like interviews, people talking about their experience working with Dwayne Johnson. Just like, he's always touting himself as being like the hardest working, like always on that grind set. But in reality, on the set of his latest movie, he was consistently 5 to 8 hours late every day that he was supposed to be there, which means that they had to shoot around him, which cost an additional, $50 million in production because Dwayne Johnson couldn't show up on time, which is an insane amount of money to cost somebody else by being late. $50 million. On top of that, even worse than that, it gets worse. Not only would he show up late, he'd be so dedicated to the grind set, he wouldn't want to get out of this grind set moment. He just like pees in bottles everywhere.
Oh, that's sick.
Like he has these like fancy water bottles that like he'll just drink all the water out of it and just pee in them wherever he is, and then have an assistant just whisk it away somewhere else. You can see it in one of his Instagram posts where he's like promoting something. He like turned the camera towards like a bench or whatever. You can see one of his piss-filled water bottles, and it's like, dude, you can stop your workout for 2 minutes to go piss, but he just doesn't. He's a fucking disgusting person.
You don't tell The Rock where he can and can't piss.
Yeah, well, being gross is also just like shitty to work with.
Yeah, that's not something you do in a work environment, Dwayne.
Yeah, like, imagine how many of those are sitting behind the scenes of like every WrestleMania.
By the way, don't open the glove box. I have like so much piss in there. It's gonna be a good road trip though, right? You ready for the next 8 hours?
if you're at The Rock's house, don't drink the yellow Gatorade.
Don't drink the lemonade. Just lemonade pitcher full of piss. I don't know why. There's no justification for me thinking that's funny, and there's no reason for it either. But just to imagine, you open a fridge and you're like, oh, lemonade. Like, don't drink that.
Pair that with the SpongeBob chugging lemonade gif.
Or the lemonade popsicle. Pissicle.
Me. That's a bit from Monsters, Inc. It's like,
yellow snow cones?
Oh, they're lemon.
Oh, I'll just go and make some more.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I love that movie. God, when I asked for my DVD player, I asked for a bunch of DVDs, and that was one of them, because I grew up being like, feeling like a sleuth, like a detective, looking at all of the, like, every single bonus feature on the Monsters, Inc. disc, like, every day, because I was like, ooh, I know all the behind the scenes stuff now. I was so fascinated with it.
I need to study this world of monsters, and we can infiltrate.
And then we'll finally infiltrate their headquarters, Monsters Incorporated.
That's how a lot of people treat, like, looking at, like, the deeper lore of a lot of series or some piece of fiction. They'll get really into it, and they'll find every detail of it, and they'll be like, I'm infiltrating this world. And it's like, what are you going to do with that? A lot of people get a lot of that information, and then they're just like, they act like they have something to do with it.
If you're older than, like, 16 and you're doing that, then I got news for you, friend. You're not going to get anything out of that info. I was 11, so that was my whole world for a little bit. I took a portable DVD player where I went, like it was a spy laptop, and watched that DVD with earbuds. I swear, I'm not kidding. I did this, like, all the time. And I did it with Spider-Man, too. When I had the Tobey Maguire 2002 Spider-Man double disc DVD, I did the same thing. I went through and looked at all the bonus features. Instead of playing the Spider-Man GameCube game, I looked at, like, the hints and tips on that DVD. There's still a SpongeBob DVD I have that has like bonus tips for the shitty game we played on Big Wop Big. I almost said Bikini Bottom, but DVD bonus features are like my love language. I love DVD bonus features.
Hell yeah.
I can just like, if there was like DVDs that just had bonus feature compilations, I would totally watch them. I don't want to watch that kind of thing on YouTube because it's not as fun.
Oh, so when somebody can quote the works of Shakespeare, they're a scholar. But when I know the behind the scenes of Monsters, Inc.
But when I know the lore behind the citizens of Monstropolis, I'm crazy. But yeah.
Do you even know the conversion rate of 1 watt to a scream?
But yeah, no, I am on a huge mission right now to collect just like as many DVDs of movies and TV shows as I can, just like box sets of seasons of shows and DVD movies. I'm really looking to get Five Nights at Freddy's on DVD right now.
Hell yeah.
Because I just want to have stuff to fill up a shelf. I want to like see all my media in front of me.
I'd love to have the Five Nights at Freddy's movie on VHS.
That would be even better.
That seems like the appropriate medium for it. There's like a legitimate push and like actual reason to get DVDs in this modern age that is becoming more readily apparent by the streaming release recently of Supernatural. When that first aired on TV, of course, when you have music rights for all of your things, when you make some kind of media, there's different sets of rights and different usage rights of where and how you use it. So if you have this music that you have cleared for your TV show, that's not the same as if you make a movie of that TV show. You have to re-clear all of those rights. And if you make a DVD set of that show, that's also another set of rights, of distribution rights that has to be cleared for all of that music and everything. Supernatural being put on streaming now, they did not go through the effort of clearing those rights again. So all of the like iconic music of that show, like all the classic rock that they feature in that show, is no longer there in the streaming version because they didn't get the rights again for it for streaming. So unless you have a DVD set of Supernatural, then the original like way that those scenes are and the references within those scenes, like they'll just be like, it's like, oh, you want to listen to like Metallica or something, and then it'll just be a generic rock song, like copyright free shit. So it's like if you want the actual like media, then you got to go there.
Big theme song challenge. We made that shit in GarageBand on the phone. I'm not gonna lie.
GarageBand.
It just fits our show though.
Yeah,
that's our song. And if you use it on Netflix, you'll have to go through the process of which you have to get the rights. Can you imagine if like Game Grumps became a Netflix exclusive or like some Let's Play show or some shit, like 3 Scary Games? That would be crazy.
You know, I mean, Good Mythical Morning has their own like Roku channel or something while they still do stuff on YouTube.
I would just be happy. I wouldn't have to watch it with ads anymore.
Yeah. I mean, also the Tetris movie.
YouTube Premium, so.
If the movie that's like the docu movie, whatever, one of those
About
fucking
Tetris,
corporate biopic, they did use Game Grumps footage without permission.
I heard about that, I think.
Yeah, you can like see the Game Grumps border on like Punch Out.
No, you can't.
No,
we didn't use YouTuber footage.
That's completely different orange and white polka dots.
You can't show me. Fine. Then ask Dan if we used his footage. Ask. He'll say no, because we didn't. It's like, no, he'll say no because you didn't tell him.
Yeah, nobody know. The only reason why we even know about any of this is because people were just like, hang on, is that the fucking Game Grumps background on Punch Out?
Yeah, no, I remember seeing it. It was either on social media or like you told me like they just made a documentary about Tetris and used Game Grumps footage without telling them. They probably, I'm assuming just because they were just like a company, they were like, well, it's YouTube, so we can use this footage if we want.
Of course. Well, because they probably got cleared as just like, well, we can use footage of Punch Out without being like sued if we only show it for like a second. But then they made no further effort.
Or you could have just looked up some random YouTube footage with like 12 subscribers and gotten that footage. But no, you had to steal it from one of the biggest Let's Play channels on the planet. So good job. You could have avoided that shit very well.
I ought to start doing for my streams and everything. I always have my I have the game at its own separate window in like its own section that nothing else crosses into. And I record the audio for everything on different tracks. So I really could just start uploading all of my streams as long plays with just the game audio and just cropped into that window.
Yeah.
If I've done any game that you want footage of, I can fucking do that for you.
Yeah. I don't keep recordings of my streams like that usually, but I did used to have a Cosmic Emerald watermark over all my streams all the time so that if you wanted to use anything of mine, I mean, my face would be over it anyway, but you would have to like, it would be acknowledged that it was my thing. I don't do that anymore, so it's fine.
I just think it's always fun when I see like any kind of gaming related video and they show like footage of a game and you see like a streamer's name that you recognize in the corner. You're just like, oh, they got the footage from this person. And it's like, usually like, it's always like cleared. If it's like a reputable source, then they like clear that footage to like use and whatever. But then it's just like, oh, so that's where they got that footage from. It's good to be a homie like that from time to time. Just giving some free footage.
Just be cool. Dear companies, stop being wads about rights and stuff.
Yeah.
Just like treat YouTubers like real people. They work harder than you do. I forgot to mention this whole time. And I don't have stereo audio, so it makes no difference to all of you. But I've been standing up this whole time at my standing desk. And right now I'm bouncing back and forth between the sides of my little standing foam pad and it's very fun. And I'm just bouncing around.
If I stood right now, I'd die.
Yeah, you're sickle.
It is something that I did do yesterday. This is a good thing to do if you're sick and if you're the sick like me, where it's just like all of your bones hurt and your body, it's tired and it hurts, and you're just spending all day resting. Get up and stretch, like do like actual, not just like crack your back or whatever. Do like actual stretches.
Oh yeah,
because then your legs and your arms and your body is not going to feel as terrible.
Stretching is very important, even if you're okay. Even if you're not sick, you should be stretching. It's very, very helpful. It's something that I've been doing more.
Yeah, stretching every day is like a great thing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm working on working the gym back into my life too in general, but I stretch, and it's very nice. A couple of years ago, I worked on being able to like high kick for literally no reason. I just wanted to.
Dr. Sung challenge.
Yeah, I just wanted to be able to high kick because I'm a woman and everyone knows that's your rite of passage is to being able to do a high kick. Hey, Rab, I think I found it. No, that's a high kick. The joke is that's Worth, right? Isn't that Worth?
I think
Which
so.
song is that? I think that's Worth. That's on Skin. But anyway, stretching will save your life.
Just like ham boning.
I was thinking the same thing. It's like, what, you trying to mug me?
It's like, it takes, like, for the actual, like, basics of that, it's like, it's not like a workout where you're gonna get, like, sweaty and tired. It's like the opposite, where it takes, like, 5 minutes to do some basic stretches, and you'll feel like, one, you're not gonna have as bad of a risk of, like, if you get your blood pumping for that, when you stretch and get everything moved around, you're not going to get so many blood clots in your leg and get a fucking aneurysm. It's good for me because every time that I am like in my grandmother's car, it sits low to the ground, which is not a great thing when you are a person who is 6 foot, because then I have to high kick out of that car when she pulls up next to the curb to drop me off. Or if I'm like, getting out of the car to grab her mail, that's also up on the curb. Then it's like I actually just have to like raise my leg above my head to get out of there.
That sounds horrible.
I've ripped pants that way.
Oh, yeah. I'd love my pants to rip against the car and just get fucked. I just get out of the car and someone rips my pants in half and just fucks me. I want to be fucked.
I want to be fucked on press.
I want to be fucked silly.
There's gotta be people like that with a very specific fetish for a very specific vehicle.
Your pants rip in public, and then you're like, oh no, I'm gonna get a huge boner. Oh no.
I only want to be fucked in a Ford Fiesta and nothing else.
I only want to be fucked in a Cube. What is that car? What's the model?
Kia Soul.
Make of that car? Yeah, no, not the Kia. There's a car that's like actually called a Cube, but I know what you mean. I think it's the car that had the dancing hamsters, the Party Rock hamsters commercials.
That's Kia.
Is that the Kia Soul?
Yeah, I don't know if it's the Soul, but it is a Kia. So here in Arizona, there's been a promotion going on at Chase Field with the Diamondbacks. Ford has been doing like this sponsored thing where there's like a new model of Ford Bronco. So there's like a sweepstakes kind of thing that you can enter to like win a Ford Bronco. When they started the sweepstakes, it was like right before O.J. Simpson died. So I have to ask whether the death of O.J. Simpson has helped or hindered participation in winning a Ford Bronco. And it's a white Bronco too, so it really, and I've seen those on the road, weirdly enough. I really don't think that, like, it's one of those cars that you see and you're like, there's no way that you drive a Bronco and don't think about O.J. Simpson every time you look at it.
I probably would. I'm assuming that's the car he drove in that footage. That's like very famous.
Yep.
Yeah, I have barely seen that footage. I've seen more screenshots of that footage than I've seen the footage, so I'd probably see a white Ford Bronco and pay no mind to it. And sure, you can call me a criminal, but I didn't kill my wife, so.
Yeah. What about it?
I did completely forget that happened until you said that.
Well, the whole Bronco chase?
No, that OJ died.
Oh. Well, yeah, it was very consequential to the entirety of our world. I'm sure all those OJ fans out there are really seething.
Yeah. Unfortunate for all of you. Great for everyone else.
Yeah. Like, is there actually people who, like, I mean, he had a lot of followers on Twitter, but I'm pretty sure that's pretty ironic.
I'm assuming there was probably some group of people out there that were like, we'll never forget your innocence. We'll never forget what they tried to do to you or whatever.
Probably like people who liked him as an athlete, or maybe people who
Yeah.
liked him in The Naked Gun.
People who just like can't let go of the fact that they liked him, even though he did a bad thing.
It's a weird thing to look at his acting career. It's specifically in his involvement with
Yeah, you mean like in that courtroom? Guys, I didn't do it. Come on.
Dude,
Stop goofing around.
Yeah. Somebody has to have done that on the stands. Like, what? No.
Me?
And then they like dramatically wink at their lawyer. Not me.
I can't believe this. You would say
Guys, come on.
me? Yes, you. So, go fuck yourself in jail. is what should have happened. Obviously, it wasn't.
Yeah.
But besides that, we are just two humble podcast jockeys that sit here and talk every week.
We're not disc
know.
jockeys. We're dick jockeys.
You know us, and we know you.
That's what I've seen a term for meat writers recently has been dick jockey.
I didn't even know Meat Rider was a thing for it.
Yeah, it's just a common term.
I didn't
now
know Meat
for-
Rider was the default. Thought it was Dick Rider.
Meat writer is like pretty common now for like self-censorship, whatever.
Hey, my name is Dick Rider.
My name is Meat Writer. There's got to be a person named Meat, and we need to meet them. If your name is Meat, reach out. Send us an email.
Or if you're looking to get it legally changed, let's schedule something for after that.
We can change your name to Ball, but not the last name, just the first one. So you still have the same last name. You can't be Meatball.
Meatball.
Meatball. And we'll meet Ball of you beautiful people next Friday with another episode of Closing Shift.
We sure will, I bet.
Smooth.
Have a good weekend, y'all.
My outros go down smooth like a Marlboro.